Hi everyone, so I'm actually going to make this video while walking, because I actually just finished a relatively, I won't say a big dinner, but just I'm trying to, digest my dinner and get some exercise before I get back to work. So I wanted to actually make this video about something that has been actually going viral, and it's been something that I don't just want to make videos for sake of making videos, but this is something that came to my attention, especially after constant you see on YouTube, you see online on social media, you see in the news, and it's ridiculous, the whole thing about the Justin Baldoni versus Blake Lively case. It's actually not just one case. It started with Blake Lively filing a so-called complaint that he had harassed her in some way or whatever, and it's some kind of misdemeanor as she claims. But after that, and she had the audacity to drop it just during Christmas. Okay, but the funny thing was that days after that, just before the New Year of, that means before 1st January this year, 2025, Justin Baldoni responded to that by dropping this countersuit, okay, for defamation. And the whole thing is that it's been going around for quite a while already. So people were saying, this Blake Lively is the next, what we call Amber Heard 2.0. Okay, you all know what I think about Amber Heard. I think she's a real narcissist. She doesn't deserve any kind of any good turn in life because of the way she treated Johnny Depp, and not just Johnny Depp, but other people. She, true to all their nature as narcissists, they only care about themselves, and they will trample over anyone. Okay, doesn't matter. You can be family, you can be their loved ones, you can be their partner, whatever, or friend. They will trample over you to get to what they want to do, okay, to where they want to be. And Blake Lively is such a snake. I hate to say it, the fact that you're doing it on Christmas Day or before Christmas, probably is down online, whatever, but the fact that she did that, obviously she was trying to spoil everyone's day. Who in the right mind does that? It's kind of ridiculous. But the thing is this, when Justin Baldoni did all that kind of thing, that the response, he dropped a lot of evidence, and he actually placed that all the evidence online on the website. He promised to do that. Okay, he was very true to it. He said that because of all these so-called allegations, all these false allegations, he could be on the streets. He could, without money, without anything. Basically, his head is on the tracks, the train tracks, whatever, and it's basically he could be starving. He and his family could be starving. And the whole thing is that there's so many theories going on right now. They're saying I don't know which is true and what is not true, but these are all just theories. Okay, one theory was that Ryan Reynolds, is the husband of Blake Lively, saw some of the scenes and tried to manipulate the whole thing, and he got jealous because that was the theory. The theory was that Blake Lively had a hot. Basically, she was attracted to Justin Baldoni, and she tried to jump in and whatever. But of course, we know it was very clear in some of the recordings and whatever the proceedings that Justin Baldoni released and everything recordings. He was smart enough. He was even smarter than Johnny Depp. He recorded everything. Okay, this is one thing. In this day and age, have all your evidence, everything. Part of it was that he had indicated he was not even attracted to Blake Lively whatsoever. I mean, why would he? He's married to his wife Emily. He loves his wife Emily. Okay, so the thing is this. Okay, I'm not trying to take any sides right now. Although I'm not trying to comment too much because I don't know much beyond all this that I just said. But the court of public opinion is basically very damning. Okay, it's very damning. I would say that no one really likes Blake Lively or Ryan Reynolds. We know that they are a pair of snakes, two pairs of narcissists. I mean, based on the way I perceive it, they are two narcissists. Okay, why do I say that? Blake Lively is using part of the technique that, or even just a whole arsenal of playbook that Ryan Reynolds had actually used to get rid of the former director, Tim Miller, for the movie Deadpool and Wolverine. This is what actually Tim Miller had said once for Men's Health magazine. He said that he's not going to work on the Deadpool movies anymore. Why? Because when it comes to Ryan Reynolds, he wants to have all the control. And he said that as a director, if he's not going to have any say, that, and if Ryan Reynolds is going to have everything to say, whatever, what's the point of being a director and working on a movie you can't even shape? And it kind of became obvious, this is what Ryan Reynolds is always doing. He's extremely controlling, and this is very typical with narcissists. But they oust the one in charge out of their position of power, and then after that they take over control. And when they take over control, just because they happen to have the the resources, everything, they can say, oh, what, I did a good job. Basically, it's like stealing the credit of someone else. It's very common. Okay, I worked for a narcissistic lady boss before. She was such a horrible person because she was trying to take credit for what I did, the things I wrote. And to be honest, I didn't even feel that I was like very happy working there, but I was very thankful it ended. And then in barely 6 months. She was like always never around. And then, she was always like, this kind of thing. She was using the CCTV to kind of monitor me to make sure everything is okay. And one thing is, if you want to do this work, you want to be the boss, don't give your work to someone else and then disappear from the whole scenario. And then you underpay someone. There's such a thing called karma. Okay, back to this whole thing. I wanted to just talk about this, just to what this case of Justin Baldoni actually versus Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, what it actually tells us about narcissists. Okay, because that one thing that Blake Lively actually said, she calls herself Khaleesi. Khaleesi meaning Daenerys Targaryen, the mother of dragons in Game of Thrones. It's so ridiculous. It's like, please, George R.R. Martin hasn't even finished that book. And the funny thing was that Khaleesi dies anyway, supposed to die anyway in the TV series. But the whole thing was this. She said, she actually claimed that she was able to shape the whole, it ends with us, that movie, because she has two dragons on her side. She was Khaleesi. Who are two dragons? On one side is Ryan Reynolds, her husband, who's like Hollywood power. He's the one, he lords it over everyone. And then the other side is like Taylor Swift, her best friend, whom she uses to sort of like influence the soundtrack or the music of It Ends With Us. It's so funny because considering that they narcissists actually have flying monkeys, and they always gravitate towards people of power. Okay, and I don't really know the situation under which Scarlett Johansson and Ryan Reynolds got divorced, but I don't think Ryan Reynolds is a good person to begin with. That just right after he divorced Scarlett Johansson, he jumped very quickly onto a marriage with Blake Lively. I don't even care that the world, this magazine, like People magazine, say that he's the sexiest man alive. He's like a somatic narcissist for all we know. No, actually I don't think he's a somatic narcissist. He's a somatic and a cerebral narcissist. Yeah, he uses his own connections and everything. And he's a very horrible person. Just look at all the false allegations. And I'm just very glad that Justin Baldoni actually came out all the receipts. Okay, he's just continuing to release them, more and more of them. I'm really sure that by the end of the whole thing, the fact that this Blake Lively doesn't want to be deposed by Justin Baldoni's lawyer. You can't decide it. If you have to go for the deposition, you have to go for deposition. You can't decide which lawyer the other side actually uses. It seems that she's really scared. So it's like a covert admission that maybe she's really guilty of something. She's scared of something. I don't know what she's scared of. If you have done nothing wrong, why are you so scared? Okay? This is the thing. And I kind of realized this one thing, that the narcissists, other than so-called flying monkeys and trying to stick around with people of power, this is very common. Okay, they do that all the time. Okay, and then they try to bolster that false image of them being so good and so pure and holy and righteous and above everything. But we know that that's not the case in Hollywood. Hollywood, I call it Holly weird. Okay, there's so a lot of weird people, really weird people, very entitled celebrities and everything. And all this, if you want to say that people are, that out of every 10 people, there's at least 1 or 2 narcissists, probably more, maybe 3 or 4, at least half. Well, I don't mean clinically diagnosed NPD, but people with narcissistic traits who are very horrible. Maybe at least 4, yeah. I would say that probably in Hollywood, maybe about 60 to 70% horrible. Okay, but the whole thing is this. Other than getting people power to gather around them, everything, you realize there's a lot of this whole thing about crying victim, claiming that they love to do these kind of things, and then when they say, oh, we didn't treat us well, it wasn't not the way we end. They love to cry victim all the time. There's this victim mother complex or mother victim complex, like boo hoo hoo, woe is me. Okay, and they are really good at doing it. Okay, Blake Lively has been doing it, but it's so ironic. She claimed that Justin Baldoni was so-called fat shaming her, but he wasn't fat shaming her. He didn't even say it to her face. He asked the personal trainer, okay, what was her weight, because he had a back pain, and he wanted to know whether he was going to be able to lift her up in one scene where she had to carry her. And the funny thing was, it was very low key, passive aggressive. The personal trainer obviously wasn't really just a friend. He went to tell Blake Lively this and gossip behind his back. And it made it sound like Justin Baldoni was fat shaming her when she wasn't. And they really did do this thing. And then obviously the third thing would be they really twist the whole narrative. They don't just lie, they twist the whole narrative. Something about what was being said. Another thing is Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds has been doing this, especially Blake Lively. She's been going the rounds of the media. Okay, I can't remember what media she went to. Was it Legacy Media or New York Times? Obviously those biased and very one-sided liberal media, which kind of presents a very negative image of men or something like with a very feminist agenda. And she took things that were being said out of context. And I seriously think that that Justin Baldoni has a right to sue the New York Times, but I think right now he's probably more on his plate than with Big Lively, that real snake. Yeah, and the thing is that she's been keeping all these kind of lies and everything, and now the funny thing is this: the court of public opinion is actually really, really turning against her, especially what was being released, and it's becoming a lot like the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case, where everyone calls her the Amber Heard 2.0. So yeah, this whole thing about the revisionism and distortion going on, it's really disgusting. There's something I always wondered. When Ryan Reynolds always appeared, not always, but he has appeared quite a number of times on South Korean TV, on some South Korean TV programs. I remember watching them, and the thing is, because I keep a lot of South Korean TV programs, and I believe he was in South Korea along with Hugh Jackman, another person whom I don't really like, to promote the Deadpool versus Wolverine, and the thing is, I remembered that when he did he did this kind of the King of Mask singer, where he had to wear a mask and then basically sing behind the mask and make people guess who he is. I'm not talking about his talent. Maybe he's a good actor or whatever, but who really cares when this is not an issue about whether you're good acting or not good at acting, but the fact that he was really just being controlling and ousting everyone from their position of authority or their job as a producer or director. he tries to do this kind of things. He'll try to take over what is going on, and then he even rewrites the whole thing. And other than getting the writer of the novel, he ends with us on his side. It's kind of ironic because she claimed that Colleen Hoover claimed that her novel was actually based on her mother's story, that her mother was being abused by her father or something, and the fact that she was brought up by parents who were either abused or abusing someone else. Okay, and that yet she gravitated towards the abusers who were Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. Okay, it says a lot. It's just very disappointing. But that said, the whole thing is this. The whole thing with that false image is crumbling. It's really crumbling. This is the fourth thing that I want to say. That false image that comes from all this revisionism, all this ousting of someone, and all this taking over their work, and even getting all your so-called flying monkeys to do all your job, your dirty work. It kind of makes you realize, there's for years, okay, for decades, we keep on kind of like putting up all this so-called Hollywood actors and celebrities on a pedestal. But a lot of them, I mean, let's just face it, Colleen Hoover's novel wasn't very good. Okay, I haven't really read it, but I heard a lot of really horrible things, like how it tries to glamorize or romanticize SA, or DV. It's just ridiculous. Maybe because Colleen Hoover had a son, supposedly, allegedly, from what I heard, who was also an abuser, but yet whom she sided with. Okay, that was what I heard, but I'm not sure how true that is. I mean, to correct me if I'm wrong. But that said, okay, the whole thing about this thing about these celebrities, all these people, the so-called it group, the it girl, the it guy, how they are always being placed on a pedestal, and then how you worship them as celebrities, or like even gods, minor goddesses, everything. We've been doing it for years, okay, and it's pretty disgusting. It's honestly very disgusting. In that these people are so morally defunct. Okay, compared to, let's say, Justin Baldoni was, by contrast, actually a very good, genuine person, because why? He really believed. Okay, he is a so-called feminist, although he's a man. Okay, he has a man bun or everything, but whatever. I mean, I don't really understand the whole logic behind men being feminist, but he's a person who believes that women should be treated right. Maybe because of some of the things that he has been through. And he wanted to make a real film about DV, okay, to show us how men, as people, that we and as an audience, that we need to treat other people with respect, with love, okay. And the funny thing was that with the way that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were trying to change everything, that end up there was two different versions, okay, that were being screened during that so-called industry screening. And the thing was, there was this kind of conclusion that actually Justin Baldoni's version, the director's cut, was much better than Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' cut. Okay, because Blake Lively's cut was it was a trivial. It trivializes DV, romanticizes abuse. It just shows you that she couldn't care less. Okay, she's just trying to make money, using it as a kind of like a cheap sellout to promote her shampoo line. Who cares? Okay, her makeup line, and also selling alcohol. Yes, alcohol. Alcohol actually has a we know that it actually compounds and worsens things like DV. But she's selling it. Does it say something? She couldn't care less. Okay, compared to Justin Baldoni, who was at least he believes in what he's doing. The thing is this: people in the industry actually thought that Justin Baldoni's version of the director's cut was much better, but yet under it's really disgusting. Under pressure, okay, from Blake Lively again and Ryan Reynolds, two big bullies, parentified bullies. Okay, they behave like the parents of everyone. They forced Sony to actually drop the director's cut, which was better actually, and showed the gravity of TV, to something which was basically a trivialization of or even romanticization of DV, which was Blake Lively's version. Okay, I find it very disgusting. Okay, the best way they say, oh, you know what should we do about them? You know what, have nothing to do with them. I'm not gonna watch anything with Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, okay, Taylor, or even listen to anything with Taylor Swift. I don't care because I've never done it before and I don't ever plan to do it. Okay, I've nothing lost. This morally defunct people, what do you get from becoming like an audience of such bad, nasty materials? You become as crazy as them. Okay, it's morally contagious. Yeah. So anyway, this is me ranting. Okay, but the thing is this. You know, we really realize there's this few things about the narcissists. They're really everywhere, even especially in the entertainment industry. Why are we still watching their stuff, buying their products, or consuming their products, the movies they watch, they create? Please, if you have a conscience, you really side Baldoni. Don't watch that that version with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds edit. I would rather watch Justin Baldoni's cut, but I don't think that considering what they've been doing, even if Justin Baldoni wins the case, I don't really know if his cut will appear again, because they block. It's so evil. The fact that Justin Baldoni had one friend, okay, or one person who was terminally ill, in a wheelchair or some kind of support, in a wheelchair, whom he actually wanted to meet, to bring to his film premiere for It Ends With Us. But because what Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds did was to actually block Justin Baldoni. They prevented him from going to the film premiere, to the main floor, placed in the basement. It's all being documented. Okay, there are photos, there are videos for it. It's so disgusting. Okay, and the fact that Justin Baldoni was actually there, okay, with his family and friends who were on his side, regardless of how he's being marginalized and being ousted. And on top of that, that friend who was actually in the wheelchair, who has passed away by now. The fact that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds did this, put that guy who was disabled, okay, it's really horrible. It's really ableist, and I'm very disgusted. Okay, that guy or that girl who's disabled now who has passed away now. That person is in the basement together with Justin Baldoni. It says how evil Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are. Okay, they are evil pair. Okay, no one should endorse them. Okay. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm going to head back to do some work. But yeah. But anyway, sorry about this rant. I just get very angry when I think about it. Because I met a lot of this, not a lot, but a few this narcissistic people, and they're so disgusting. They think that they're good and so entitled. But you know what? But at the end of the day, no one really, for years we put them out on this pedestal, but they're not even worth looking at. They just go around ruining people and breaking things, and they think that they are so entitled to do that. No, they don't deserve a thing. Okay. Okay, that's it for now. Bye bye.